Hi, Libra, and happy Thanksgiving for those of us that are in the US. Um, I hope you're having a good day. I noticed some people are online, so I thought, oh, maybe it's not such a bad day to do my readings or upload my readings. Um, so we're wrapping up 2019, and for some of us, that's a happy thing, I think. Um, in any case, so this is your December reading, 2019, Libra. I was meditating and I had a vision of you standing outside of a group of people, and it was really kind of like the Five of Wands card, which is a card of competition, fighting, um, trying to one up one another. But these beings didn't really have faces. It's kind of like it was erased in the face and the body, like it was just a shell sort of indication. So I feel like that there's an energy of competition, fighting, issues, past issues, a lot of drama that is not coming out. And people are kind of hiding drama. And you're witness to this. And there's almost a temptation to spark it up from you, like to just say one little thing and start that whole it's like a tinderbox waiting for a little spark. So yeah, so what I guess I was getting from that is kind of to have a peaceful mindset, try to release the desire to be the one to spark this thing. It may spark up anyways, but I don't feel like you're part of the fray in a way. Like I don't think it's so much your issues. You might have issues, but you're kind of okay. So for you, being the outsider is probably the better position, and just resisting the temptation to start anything, even though it's just kind of right below the surface. It may become interesting anyways. So it was just kind of keeping cool, kind of enjoying rather than, just enjoying a peaceful moment. And I was really wanting to these two decks, besides being green, which is such a nice heart energy, also are kind of soft decks, and I'm feeling a soft energy from you, a kind of giving warmth that's available for you. You have it within you to give, if that's the case, as the case may be. So I wanted to kind of stick with that energy. There's others, like I'm saying, there's others that are going to want to flame something up. I don't know if you personally can deflect that. I didn't get that you were deflecting it. It might happen, it might not. But it was just kind of trying to not be tempted in a way to just spark it up and let them get it out. It's sort of like, no, don't do that. Just let them handle their thing. They may have a better way of handling it than an outright, you know, issue. So anyways, that was the meditation. It was competition going on outside of you. I'm going to use a different card for your overall today, just for change of pace. This is the Goddess Oracle. It's pretty straightforward, usually. So what's going on for Libra for December? I mean, what are they feeling? What are their issues? What should they be focusing on? What are they going to have to focus on if that be the case? What's going on with Libra? Oh, embracing the shadow. That's interesting because that's a little bit sort of like my meditation in a way, because it's, what you're seeing in the competition is the shadow selves, and the shadow self of yourself that, sort of wants to spark up it's right there. You could say one thing and it would just, wow, a conflagration would start. So just sort of embracing that, don't judge it. We all have it. Even if someone is very high vibrational, they're not always high vibrational. It's just recognizing our own shadow selves and accepting it, and doing the best you can with it. I've had an instance in my life where I did something that was very low vibrational, And my take on it, rather than guilt or shame or self-loathing, is just I tell myself, okay, I just really clearly look at it and then tell myself, don't do it again. That's it. I'm never doing that again. I don't like that energy that I don't like what I caused. I don't like this feeling. Just don't do it again. And I found that it doesn't happen again, that I'm really aware. And there are times when I still revisit those moments and feel that kind of down feeling. But once again, remind myself, well, don't do it again. You didn't do it again. You won't do it again. It's all part of growth. It's all part of our experience here on Earth. What I'm talking about today isn't as big as anything. I'm just saying, like, it's interesting to see our shadow self come out sometimes. And so you might see it when confronted with this group of people, or it could be an experience at work. It could be definitely an experience with family or any other group of friends getting together for the holidays, anything like that. It might be interesting to watch. Okay. And so given that, I'm going to get a I think it's Animal Spirit Oracle. Animal Spirit Oracle, I'm not sure. I don't have the book right here. Anyways, I'll put it in the description box what this is. But this is sort of just kind of a guide for you, some advice for you on what you can emphasize maybe here in December. What spirit can Libra emphasize here in December 2019? Okay, Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. So this is kind of about making the best of a situation. Let's say, okay, going with the same meditation, and if this is not you that's going to go through this, but it's still just an example. But let's say this fight breaks out in this group of people, and eventually it has to stop and it dies down. What can be taken from that? What can be learned from that? What can you take out of this ruin or this devastation of a situation? That's what Vulture does. It's also a card, like, sometimes of recycling or getting involved with recycling. It can be with, let's say, possibly even, this is kind of remote, but even just like volunteering at a soup kitchen or something like that. Those people that have been disowned by society and stuff like that, finding a moment to talk with those people and stuff like that. So it's, Vulture Spirit is very beautiful. It's about finding gold in something dispossessed, finding nurturance in a situation that's not nurturing. It's about finding beauty in something that's not beautiful. So this is something for you, just something to keep in mind for December as we wrap up the year. So embracing the shadow, which they go together if you really look at this. Embracing the shadow, what is not ugly or beautiful, or what is not beautiful in oneself, and the Vulture Spirit, which is taking something that's dispossessed, dead, also not beautiful, and making something of it, making nurturance of it. So there's an interesting dynamic going on in December for Libra. So let's see how that plays out in the cards. I'm going to start with the Dreaming Way today. So when I do the horoscope spread, I usually just follow the major arcana to see where the major events in December will be for most of you, and realize that this is a general reading. As most, if you watch any of these, it can't be for every single person, but the reading comes through for those that need it, So hopefully we'll get a nice message from most of you on what's going to happen, some guidance, some, just a heads up for December for Libra. Wow, you have so much major arcana. It's crazy. Okay, so let me just go over real quickly. We're going to clarify. So this is not the full story. but a little bit briefly about what we're going to talk about. So in your second house, a partnership, money, some sort of partnership may have ended and you'll have money, or it could be a combination of you and someone else that come up with money, or you're combining your money, something like that. Third house in your mind, you have brilliant ideas. You have the Magician. Brilliant ideas, the ability to do anything. You know you can. And this is in your mind, there's something brewing. Like you have this creativity that's brewing. You have all the assets available to you. 11th house in the home, there's a balancing of energy. I don't know if you had a conversation with family or somebody in the home. Maybe there was an incident in the home that caused a balancing of energy. You could have moved in with someone. That's a possibility recently. And there's a balancing of your two, I don't want to say energies. It's more like your things and your two cultures. You know, each individual can have their own kind of culture around their home. So 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th house also, we have something going on. Wheel of Fortune. So for some of you, you may have moved in with somebody because I have a 4th and 7th. So 7th is committed relationship. Seems like you're on the upswing there. There's a commitment happening for a lot of you, and it's beautiful. It's like just a great, it doesn't necessarily say new beginning, but it's like you guys have put it together. And there does seem to be the balancing in the home, which makes sense. Maybe you moved in. Maybe that's the commitment. You moved in together. This doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. You could have gotten a roommate, because the 7th house indicates committed relationship, but it can be partnership, business partnership. It is kind of a business partnership when you live with someone because you both have to pay the rent. So there's something, but I think the majority of you, it's probably a relationship that's on the upswing. Maybe you're moving in together. You have moved in together. You're contemplating moving in together, and you're just putting together your different needs in that area. The 9th house, there's a new start. You're having a new start possibly in school. Is a very good. This is higher education. This can be litigation. So if there was litigation, maybe that's completed. If there's anything like that, religion. It can be religion. So you may have, really started maybe getting involved with another religion. Maybe someone invited you to their church and you really liked it. Whatever that is. Maybe a new start in any kind of spirituality. It can also be traveling to foreign lands. So maybe you're planning a trip. So there's a new start, a jumping off point. You're going to try something new in any of those areas. Okay. And that kind of concludes the major arcana. So what I'm going to do is clarify. I'm going to clarify all areas of this Libra. So let's see what comes up here. Looking good, really. In your 10th house, you have the King of Wands right now. That means you're really in charge. The 10th house is your work. Okay, since we're talking about 10th house, I'll throw that out there. Also balance. So home and work balance. You may have found a home and work balance right now where you have enough time to work and enough time for your peace, rest, being in your home life. So that's interesting that those came up in opposition here. So yeah, beautiful. And in your 6th house, you have the 4 of Wands and celebration. So it's possible that you're with a group of people you feel really comfortable with. They're fantastic, feel like family. So good stuff there. So let's continue. All right. There you are. Yeah, beautiful. It looks like you're doing pretty darn good. Good news for December. I'll get one more card since this one did pop up. Okay, so again with the career, because that jumped out. King of Wands, Queen of Wands, we have a pair here, and we have Justice. So in your 10th house, you found your match. Now 10th house is your area of career. It can also be your social standing or kind of a reputation. It's possible that you're getting married or you're in a committed relationship. It's really good on you. It's very well balanced. I'm feeling like a lot of you are in a really good space here with somebody else. Definitely. Now, if you're not, what we have here, King and Queen of Fire, you can be balancing your creative energies and in a fantastic way. I mean, we have the Justice upright. So we have you balancing those energies, and it's really contributing to some really good stuff in terms of your profession. So beautiful work. Let me go to your 6th house. Yeah, so again, Ace of Cups here and 4 of Wands. So Ace of Cups is in reverse. I'm not seeing it that way with the 4 of Wands. I'm seeing it more that there's an appropriate amount of compassion, an appropriate amount of emotionality at work, nothing in excess. If you may have been in a workplace where there was too much personal energy, this is not one of them, but you do still have the family energy going on there. So it's really great. I'm really happy for you on the work front. I don't think there's anything more I need to say about the work front right at this time. Love relationships. There's something amazing here. Right now, I have your Justice, the balance in the home life, which balanced with your career life, and strength. So you're really in your strength right now. You're able to do this relationship. And sometimes you're not in a place where you can do a relationship. You're not in a place where you can, handle that. So very interestingly, you are in a very, very good place with, this is your home life. This is in the home that you're choosing maybe with this person. It's possible. If you're not with somebody, for some of you, you may not be, you're in a really beautiful balanced place within yourself. Now, in the 5th house, you made a choice. And 5th house is about creativity, but it's also about your love relationships. For some of you who are in an uncommitted relationship that are dating, you made a choice possibly between 2 people, and you let go someone that's a bit of a fighter, someone who doesn't support you, someone who's got a lot of negative words. It could be you that you're walking away from those behaviors, but I'm really seeing it as somebody else that was in your world. For those single Libras who made a choice, is there someone else that they chose, or did they choose themselves? Who did they choose over this Knight of Swords character? Three of Fire. Okay. So, sorry, I have too many decks that are out right here. 3 of Fire. So you chose a more solid foundation. If something only has 2 legs, it can't stand up properly. With 3 legs, it can. So you're choosing a solid foundation. Now, I think for some of you, it might be within the relationship. You may have let this Knight of Wands, this is an air sign type person, someone who's largely mental, not particularly emotional, can be very, argumentative. You may have let that person go, or you may have had the conversation you need to have with them so that they understood your position and built a better foundation with that. It's not showing a second person, so I don't think you left this person for someone else. You may have left this person for yourself, or you may have had a conversation that was altering with this person. Okay, so that's good. Let's jump in. I wanted to talk about, the 1st house. You are in charge. You're saving money. That's what I see. You are able to gather your own resources, hang on to your own resources. You are in charge of yourself. This is a very strong and beautiful time for you. So really good there. Now, in the money situation, I had the Sun in reverse and Death in reverse. I feel that it's possible a relation. Sorry, that was probably very loud. Sorry if you had earphones on. It's possible that there was difficulty letting go for somebody of some money. If you were in a relationship previous to this one now, there was a difficulty in getting back your belongings or something like that. Overall, I'm not seeing like this is a breakup reading. If the breakup happened, it was probably long ago, or it's in your mind long ago. You're done. But some issues about money, someone's retaining something from a partnership. They just don't want to let you go, is my feeling. And that's all there really is to that. I don't think I don't think it's affecting your finances that much, as the Sun card is not a difficult card that came up in your original reading. Okay. Third house, I just want to talk to you about this. The Magician, you have everything it takes to create your world, and you're always creating your world. So this is giving you also the Five of Earth here, which is the Five of Pentacles, and that's about anxiety. You want to kind of clear anxiety a little bit, because you may have some fears about your creativity or what you're putting out in the world, but you have it going on. So, try to let go of those feelings of possibly being shut out in some area, or worried that you're not going to be accepted for your designs or whatever you're doing you're creating. You will be. This is just fears in your mind, but you have everything it takes. Magician's Major Arcana, this is a pip card. This trumps this by a lot. So you really have it. Just some little niggling sort of feelings. Nothing major there. Let me just go to groups of people really quick. Two of Pentacles and an apology, Messenger of Water. Okay, so choosing between two things. It's possible if you are online or doing a lot of stuff online, you may not have time to do all that stuff anymore. You have other things. You may feel like you have to give an apology to people, followers that you had, or people that like to spend a lot more time on Facebook or what have you, that want to speak with you or want new pictures or whatever, that expect to hear from you on a daily basis. I don't think you're going to have time for that, because you're really busy with your work and the things that you're doing, and you're offering kind of an apology. I feel like this is probably you, or you can reverse it. There might be someone else that you enjoy talking to that just doesn't have time. Could be somebody else, but I feel like it's you, given that you have this relationship, you have this work that's just very dynamic for you. Yeah, so I'm feeling like, looking really good. This is something you're not aware of. In your 12th house, this is something that kind of sneaks up on you. You're not aware of what's going on. Six of Cups is kind of a nostalgia. And Eight of Earth is about crafting something. So you might be wanting to craft something from another decade, from your childhood, things that you remember. If you're a designer, you might be attracted to 80s, or you know what I'm saying? Like just anything that's a little bit vintage. So there's a vintage idea for you. Okay, so that's all I can say about that. I'm just going to throw that out there. Okay, so the last one I'm going to do is your 8th house. This is psychological. It kind of goes along with, yeah, that goes there. Okay. Okay, so this one, it can be money from inheritance. It can be taxes, death, sex, and just what's going on with you psychologically. I love it when it's just psychological. It's a little easier for me. But I see that there's a possibility of some money coming. The Ace of Pentacles is like a decent amount of money coming your way. It could be just, tax money coming back. It can be something that's due to you. It can be an inheritance, anything like that. You may have some negative thinking about just generally things that worry you at night. So if you do have some money issues with another person or belongings or something they have of yours, it will eventually come. Don't let it keep you up at night is basically what this is saying. If there's anything like that going on, not to worry. It's coming. Any money situation. So looking pretty good, Libra. I mean, fantastic, actually. Trying to see, what am I going to leave you on here? Let me find let's go for, where are my cards? I think they're at the bottom of this stack. There they are. Just going to go for anything that's kind of an intuitive, any special message for Libra. Is there anything we can bring down? Wow, that came out fast. Treasured memories. Okay, Libra. You're in this beautiful time where you are making treasured memories. I mean, don't skimp on taking pictures or, creating things of this moment in time in your life. I think this is going to be beautiful holidays for you. If you're in that relationship that's working, I mean, Lots of pictures of this time. You're going to want to look back on them when you're older, because this is kind of like the halcyon days, as they call it. There's something very beautiful happening with you this end of year going into next year. And yeah, treasured memories. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that's it. That's all I have for you, Libra. Thank you so much and enjoy. I'm happy to have such a wonderful reading for you. Yeah. And leaving you on embracing the shadow too. Like, don't forget this part. Allow yourself. If you feel something coming up, allow it, look at it, make your appropriate choices. So good talking to you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it or if it resonated for you. Please share or subscribe. Everything helps. I'm a very new channel. Okay, thanks a lot.